Congratulations. You became a millionaire with a $10 idea. So stop bogging yourself down trying to figure out how to make a million.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today I have a very funny video for you. Real quick to get started, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but ever since quarantine hit, I really feel like I've developed this general, I don't know the word for it, disdain for celebrities, basically. I don't like that they're always trying to seem so relatable and give us advice, like as if they didn't just all have connections from their parents or just dumb luck for the most part. But we're about to hear some of the dumbest advice that I think you will ever possibly hear from our man Steve Harvey, who is about to tell us how to make $1 million. Because for all you poor people out there who are struggling financially, didn't you know that it was actually super simple to make your first million? Why haven't you already? Just listen to this.
When people try to figure out how to make $1 million, they have no idea how daunting that is. Because if you know how to make $1 million, you go make it tomorrow.
See, he's so confident that once you understand how to make $1 million using his method, you could actually do it in a day, literally. Why be poor? Why be homeless? Just go buy a house, just go make $1 million, right?
But since you can't figure out how to $1 million idea, you go somewhere and sit down. That's the wrong approach. If you apply your gift, your God-given gift that he gave you, you have millions already at your disposal.
And I love that they just have to cut away from his dumb advice that he's filming for some reason, just to show his Emmy, you know, just in case you didn't know how successful and rich he was. But that's right, as long as you use your God-given talents, you have millions of dollars at your disposal. And I'm sure a lot of you guys didn't even know it, so you're gonna be quite surprised by this strategy. I honestly didn't even think about this. It basically just involves very simple multiplication that I might add Steve Harvey gets incredibly wrong. But let's get into this strategy, because I want you guys all to be rich and prosperous after this video.
You need something that you do, your gift that God gave you, to make $10. That's all you got to be able to know. I don't care if it's cutting hair, cutting somebody's grass, washing somebody's car. I don't care if it's mowing somebody's lawn.
And I love how he has to repeat mowing the lawn twice because he's like struggling to think as he's bullshitting us. Like, oh, what are some normal jobs that poor people would do? Mow grass, cut hair, cut the lawn, wash my Lexus. Yeah, do stuff like that. Just make $10, and as long as you can make $10, you can make $1 million.
Once they give you $10, all you got to do is whatever you did to get that 10, do it 10 more times. You now, my friend, have $100.
Oh my God. This is next level advice. All you have to do is think of something that people will pay you $10 for and do that 10 times. And then what do you got? $100. Only $999,900 to go. I mean, you really are almost there at that point. It's that easy to make $1 million. And like Steve said, you could do it tomorrow. Let's keep going with this idiocracy because it actually gets dumber than this, trust me. I really don't know why this was filmed or why he thought this was good advice or why 31,000 people gave this video a like thinking, oh my God, he just changed my life. I'm rich now, thanks Steve. This is not how you get rich. This is how you work forever at less than minimum wage in many states.
Well, guess what? If you take that $100 that you made since you've done it 10 times, and you do it 10 more times, I got news for you, my friend. You now have $1,000.
Wait, Steve, you lost me. I'm trying to follow this basic arithmetic here, but you say do a $10 skill 10 times, which I get, yeah, that's $100. But now you're saying do it 10 more times and you got 1,000. Unless people are paying you now $100 per haircut or per lawn mowing, you are not making $1,000. You're making $200. Now, I'm sure he's trying to say do that same effort 10 more times, but really that's disingenuous to say. You would say do that 100 more times at this point, and now you have $1,000. He is literally doing basic multiplication wrong and writing upside down on this pad as if he's some life guru, and he's just helping all his fans so much with his stupid advice.
$1,000, you make $1,000. Guess what all you got to do?
I'm gonna let you guys guess. What do you think you gotta do after you get $1,000 to make your way to $1 million? I mean, you're probably laughing thinking there's no way he's gonna say just do it 10 more times, but let's just see.
You got to multiply that effort again. Do whatever you did to do $1,000, do it 10 more times. My friend, you now have $10,000.
That's right. You find a $10 skill and you do it literally 1,000 times and you got 10,000 bucks, baby. Now, disregard the fact that you do have to spend that money on arbitrary things like car insurance, a car, rent, basic utilities, basic needs, food, because you are literally spending most of your day mowing lawns. You are going to be needing food and sustenance. So there's a lot of your money right there. It's not quite that easy to make 100K, but let's keep going with this stupid logic because it gets even worse.
You got $10,000 now. Imagine if you was making an extra $10,000 a month. Just imagine if you was making an extra $10,000 a month.
Oh, it's so good to imagine making an extra 10,000. It'd be so sick if all I had to do to make an extra 10,000 a month would be mow 1,000 lawns or cut 1,000 hair. That didn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Like, come on, dude. You are so out of touch with reality with your rich ass. Like, don't be giving us advice. We don't want to hear it. This is just idiotic, and it makes me angry that celebrities think they're so high and mighty and can give us all this life advice. Like, just shut up.
But I got news for you, my friend. Whatever it took to make yourself $10,000, all you got to do is do it 10 more times.
No, you don't have to do it 10 more times, man. You got to do it 1,000 more times. This just doesn't make sense. It's not feasible. This is the dumbest concept. It really sounds like a teacher trying to teach their class about multiplication or someone explaining a dumb pyramid scheme, like, you know, an old friend that you met up on Facebook and they're like, hey, let's hang out. And then the first time they hang out, they're trying to tell you about Herbalife or some stuff. Like, dude, I don't want to listen to this. You're stuck in a pyramid scheme. And I'm also not mowing 1,000 lawns. And you guys are getting the theme, basically. He's saying the number and then he's like, now just do that 10 more times, even though, you know, previously you've already done it, you know, 1,000 iterations, but just do that 10 more times and don't spend any of the money you're making and you have 100K. I honestly don't get how people are poor.
10 more times, my friend. You now have $100,000. I got news for you now. If you can make $100,000, you just a step away from being a millionaire, man.
This pains me. So let's follow the $10 logic. To get that $100,000, he says, you know, you just gotta do that 10 more times. In his words, you only need to do it 50 times, but his math is freaking wrong. You actually have to do it 10,000 times. You have to mow 10,000 lawns. If you do one lawn a day, that is 10,000 days. And as much as I love that Tool album, that equals about 27 years, okay? That is just too much of your life that you would have to be saving every penny from your grueling work of mowing a single lawn every single day for 27 years. Just to have 100K. And now he's saying, you're just one step away from a million, my guy. Just do that long, arduous task 10 more times. Like, now you have to do 10,000 lawns for a million. If you did 10 a day, that would still take the 10,000 days to reach it. So that is 27 years of mowing 10 lawns a day or cutting 10 heads of hair a day. I can't believe no one thought of this before Steve. Like, he really needs to coin this strategy of making a million because it's genius.
And one more time, just one more time. Do it 10 times. Man, that sounds hard. It is hard. But what else you got to do?
I don't know, literally work for a normal living and pay for groceries so your family doesn't freaking starve, and try to work overtime at your crappy job so that you can, you know, pay for these rising rent prices that every major corporation is causing in your area, not have nearly the same shot that any generation before you has had. So what else am I doing? I don't know. Trying to live in this terrible wasteland that is 2021, man. I don't want to hear your dumb advice of how to get rich anymore. Like, it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna go out there mowing 10,000 lawns. This is just ridiculous. And he thinks he's so smart by just saying, you know what? I'm gonna tell you a little secret, my friend. All you gotta do is do that 10 more times. I mean, it's easy to add another zero on your pad upside down, Steve, but it's a lot less easy to actually put that into motion. And I get that you're rich and you've made multiple millions and you are a very hard worker, I'm sure, but it just doesn't work this way. And this is like a boomer telling you that they used to buy Pepsi for 5 cents a can and they went to college off of, you know, working part-time during the summer. Like, I don't want to hear it. It doesn't work that way anymore, man.
What, you gonna stop at the 100,000? All you gotta do is duplicate your efforts by 10.
So let's also just imagine that, you know, you're doing one lawn a day and you're trying to get a million. It would take you 27 years to get 100,000. So you would literally have to live like as long as those old turtles that live like 300 years just to see that million. And again, you have to not spend a single cent. Now, I'm not imagining that the average person should make $1 million from mowing lawns. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just talking about the examples he's been giving. It is so idiotic to think that this is any way possible or applicable in the modern day. I just feel bad for people that look up stuff like this on the internet and they watch these videos and it's like, oh my gosh, I could easily make $1 million, but you just can't be distracted by this stuff. Like, get rich quick schemes never work. Advice from celebrities will most likely never work because they're not going to admit all of the positive things that help influence their success, such as, again, connections from parents or just wealth overall before starting. The area that they grow up in has a lot to do with it. There's so many factors. If you guys are interested in the true measure of success, one of my favorite books is called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and it talks about a lot of those factors that do go under the radar and people just account for luck. But it's more than luck. But I can tell you, no one's gotten freaking rich from individually cutting heads of hair or mowing lawns or washing cars. So Steve, I'm sorry, but your advice is not gonna fly for me.
You got making $250,000 a year. That's way better than that $20,000 you had when you started. So there's joy in the process. Your life is actually a lot richer at $250. It'll become even more richer at $500,000. It becomes even richer than that at $750,000, $750,000.
So as if all this advice wasn't the dumbest thing you ever heard, his closing statement is basically telling you what value is larger than the other value. So very basic addition and subtraction. He's like, you actually have more money at $500,000 than you did at 10,000. And surprisingly, this is the fun part, guys. Trust me. When you make more money, you have more money at 750,000 than you did at 500,000. You're richer. I'm so glad we spent the time to watch this video. There's not much more to this. He's just babbling on for another like 10 seconds about how joyful it is to make your first million, because I'm sure he did this exact strategy of the 10 by 10 method, and that's how he got rich. So if you guys found this video comedic in any way or you enjoyed watching it with me, make sure you drop a like, and also you have to give me some shares if you make your million off of this strategy, since, you know, I did kind of share the video with you. So for any of you out there who are ready to cut those 100,000 lawns, you got this. But anyways, that about does it for today's video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. I lost a few brain cells watching this one. So as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, peace out.